Today I'm going to show you how I made this chicken saltimbocca. Saltimbocca literally means jumps in the mouth. It's a play on words to say this meal really pops. Like lots of Italian dishes, this dish just relies on a few quality ingredients treated well. Whether you're making veal saltimbocca or chicken saltimbocca, it features the sage, prosciutto, and either the veal or chicken. I'll be using my homemade 18-month aged prosciutto. I'll be using this chicken raised on a very small farm. My name's Greg. Welcome to the Gourmet Woodsman. Let's make a chicken saltimbocca that'll jump in your mouth. Gonna get everything I'll need together. First, I'm gonna make a real simple dredge, just using a little flour. I'm not making much, that's probably enough. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt, just a little bit. I'm gonna get some garlic ready for my sauce. Don't need to cut it too fine, that's good. I wish I could say I grew this sage, but I didn't. Tear off a few leaves. And I'm gonna save this stem. So what are my best leaves? And these ones, I'm gonna toast up and flavor that oil. I'll add these two for the toasting. And that stem. Okay, we'll set that aside. Now it's time to put on my gloves. Did I mention that I'm slicing up my own 18-month aged homemade prosciutto? And I wish there was smell-o-vision. Oops, I sliced up an extra slice. If you've ever had farm-fresh eggs compared to store-bought eggs, a farm-raised chicken compared to store-bought chicken, it's a very similar situation. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna remove the leg and the thigh by cutting through the skin. Gonna remove the wings. Same on the other side. Now I'm going to remove the skin by just getting up and under it. And then I'm going to remove the breast by cutting all the way into the bone and then gently curving my knife towards the top. Same thing on the other side where I feel the rib cage, and I'm going to angle my knife a little. It's still a little bit frozen there, that's why I'm having a little bit of an issue. Now I got my two skinless breasts, couple of wings, couple of thighs and legs. I'm definitely going to save this for stock. I'm going to save my skin either for chicken sausage, adds fat, or render it down and get chicken fat. My saltimbocca is just going to use the boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now I'm just going to cut straight down, my hand on top, just make thin pieces of chicken. And on top, yeah, it's not a very good view for the camera, is it? Some are bigger, some are little, you know, we don't all have the same size meat. It's just how it goes. That's just gonna keep the chicken splatters from going all over the kitchen. And then I'm just gonna pound these out and always kind of going away from the middle. A little bit of an angle. We're just trying to get them even thickness. You don't even really have to pound the thinnest one. Start in the middle, work to the outside. You're not hammering a nail. It's a gentle touch. Gonna just give them a very light amount of salt because the prosciutto is pretty salty and they're pretty thin. So just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I need to get a better pepper mill. This one sucks. Okay, flip them over. A little bit of salt. Little bit of pepper. Now we're just going to lay out some sage leaves. And then I'm going to lay my thinly sliced prosciutto right over that. Switch that out. Put the big piece here. Put that smaller piece on the small one. So this is the tricky part. You want to get the chicken in there. You got to be gentle to not lose the sage leaves. And then we'll just set that aside for a minute. And this flour is just going to help get it a little bit of a crust. We're not trying to have breaded chicken, but it's just going to help it get a nice little crust on it. To the stove we go. Turn on my stove, a little olive oil on the bottom, and a little butter, and a little more butter. While that butter is melting, I'm going to add my sage stems and these few extra sage leaves that I saved. And I just got this on a kind of medium heat. Just want to infuse this oil and butter with some of that sage and give a little more flavor to the oil. As a bonus, we can crisp up some sage leaves to put on top to make a pretty little garnish. Just want these leaves to get a little darker. When they get a little dark green, I'm going to pull them out. Don't want them to get brown, but I don't want them to end up limp and soggy and greasy either. Now very carefully, prosciutto side down, and try to roll it away from me. Might be crowding it by putting them all in. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna do it anyway, it'll be all right. That's the motto around here, it'll be just fine. This piece is tiny, it'll fit. Bam. These are very thin, they won't take long. Don't know if you can see these edges? Chicken are just turning. That's when we want to flip them over. I think I'm going to take them out. I think they're good to go. Drain this oil. This back on the heat. Add a little butter. Add my garlic. Now you can use white wine or you can use a red wine like Marsala is traditional. Red wine's really rich. I like to use some white wine. I think it just lightens it up a little bit. I'm just gonna let that cook off till it gets to be kind of almost syrupy. This is reduced down quite a bit. Don't want it to get too dark. I'm gonna go in with my chicken stock. This is homemade chicken broth. That's why you don't throw out the carcass. This is reduced down most of the way, like 80 or 90%. We're gonna turn off the heat. You add a couple of pads of cold butter. Make sure it's cold butter, that'll make otherwise your sauce might break. Once that butter melts, fresh lemon juice would be better, but I don't have it. So just putting a tiny splash of lemon juice and brighten up this richness. And our sauce is done. Look at that. Beautiful. Put a little of the sauce down the middle. And a couple of our crispy sage leaves. And since we're doing it for the YouTube, we'll clean up this little bit here and make our plating look as pretty as we know how to do. Chicken Saltimbocca, ready to jump in your mouth. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel, Gourmet Woodsman. Put some love into your food. Peace.